For something to be traumatic, it doesn't have to be as big and overwhelming as you think it is. In fact, there are 4 key criteria that will define whether or not something could have been traumatic for you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what those 4 key categories are so that you can gain a better understanding of whether something you've experienced in your life is actually as minor as you thought it was. Please also remember that if you are experiencing any symptoms of a strong traumatic event, to work with someone who can help you regulate your nervous system and get you out of the fight or flight response. So follow along to this video and see if you meet the 4 criteria that help you to define whether or not you've experienced trauma. So in the world of integrated health and the strategies that I use, such as emotional freedom technique, we understand that there are 4 key criteria that define trauma. The acronym we use is the word UDIN, U-D-I-N. Now a UDIN is 4 aspects. So aspect number 1 is the event is unexpected. In other words, you were not prepared for the event to occur. You didn't see it coming, it catches you completely blindsided, and so then you're caught off guard and you are not prepared for the situation. So that's the U in UDIN. The second criteria that you want to be aware of is that the event feels very dramatic. In other words, you have a strong emotional reaction to it. It brings up a lot of strong emotions. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of overwhelm and stress that comes with this event. And so if it feels like it's dramatic to you, then please don't undermine that an event is actually potentially traumatic for you. So it feels very dramatic in your eyes. And also remember that this is a subjective experience. So what one person may feel is traumatic, another person may not. But it's how you respond to the situation, not how someone else views the situation. The third criteria of the UDIN acronym is I, which is isolating. Now, isolating just simply means I am on my own here. No one else gets what I'm going through. I could be in a whole room, like you could be in a whole room of people. You could be surrounded by a whole heap of people, but in that moment, you feel very isolated. You feel very alone, and you feel as though there's there's no one there to support you whatsoever. So it's all about what you're going through in that moment, which explains why we could have multiple people experiencing the same trauma, and you'd have a very different perspective on it. So just remember that. So far we've covered it's unexpected, it's dramatic, and it's isolating. Number 4 of UDIN, which is this event traumatic for me, is N, which is no strategies and no resources. All that simply means is at that time, in that moment, you were unable to resolve the situation in a way that would have brought you some form of reprieve or relief or release. So you couldn't fight, you couldn't flight. Often you get caught in a freeze response, and there's that feeling of afterwards, if only I could have done something differently, if only I could have tried that. But in that moment, at that time, and it can be just a split second, you are caught completely off guard and you just have absolutely no effective strategy or resources around you to help you resolve that situation in that moment. And that is why down the track, when you go into integrated approaches like emotional freedom technique and work with me one-to-one, we are able to help you resolve those situations by getting rid of the charge, the emotions, the unexpectedness, the strong emotions that are held in your nervous system because of those traumatic events. So just to recap, UDIN, unexpected, dramatic, isolating, and no tools or strategies to cope, no resources whatsoever. So go away now and consider some of your previous life events and take into consideration, have you undermined them? Perhaps they were a lot more upsetting and emotional than you gave them credit for, but also it helps you to understand that these events can still be affecting you to this day if they fit those 4 criteria. And another way of describing it is significant emotional events, which is the acronym SEE. Anyway, hopefully that gives you something to really go away and think about and to no longer undermine those significant events that have happened to you in the past. And if you truly believe that they're still playing out and affecting you now, then go back and look at my previous resources and videos on how you can start to release the charge and the emotional response that you had to those events. Anyway, I'm Sonia Cortis. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day. See ya.